Hey, good morning, beautiful people. Today I'm continuing my series on confidence. I want to talk about when you are working towards a goal, right? When you're putting in work day in and day out, and once you finally get to see the results, and depending on what you're working on, we may be talking about weeks, we may be talking about months, we may even be talking about years. But when you are putting work into something, right? When you are feeding into something and then you get to see the results, like just the icing on top of the cake, right? Because you feel good about doing the action and then you're rewarded with it. Your confidence is going to grow so much because you are proving to yourself that you can trust yourself. You can trust your ability to put in the action, to get things done, and to make changes in your life. And I personally think that's where like the true beauty comes in when we're building confidence, just knowing that, yeah, man, I put in the work. I achieved an outcome that I wanted to. I'm feeling good about myself and also moving in that with that momentum, right? So when we achieve more, it can kind of like it's the fuel to the fire. You want to keep going. You want to maybe add on an extra goal or like the next level, next step. And the more and more that you keep going, you keep pushing yourself, you keep putting in the hard work, your confidence is just going to grow more and more and more. I think a lot of times too, when we think about self-confidence, we think about how is that going to make us look in the world, right? Like, how am I going to be portrayed if I have more confidence? And we think about all those kind of wins and what that means in society to be confident. But really, I want you to think about it. Just don't even think about anyone else. Just think about doing this for yourself. I believe the most rewarding part of the self-confidence is having that security, that trust within yourself. And the more that you work at it, the more strong we become, right? The more resilient we become. And it becomes harder for people to take that away from us, even if they are giving us, right, like whatever they put in. If it's negative, we can't control other people. So ultimately, that's what we're working on. We're working on that self-confidence to become so solid in our foundation of who we are that nothing or nobody can rock that. I think what also kind of ties into that is the saying, have you guys heard this before? Like, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So essentially, if you aren't strong in knowing in your core, like who you are, it could be so easy to just live from a place of confusion, right? We're a little bit lost. Maybe we just go along with the pack. It's really easy for us to switch our mind and maybe we're just not confident in our decisions. So by building that self-trust, by building that foundation, looking inwards, showing up for ourselves, and maybe even making note, like feel free to journal it, write it out. What are things that I value? I value hard work. Okay, well, where can I do that in my life? Where can I show up for myself and display that hard work to reach my goals, to achieve essentially whatever I want to achieve? I feel like it's extra hard too if you're a people pleaser, right? You want to just make everyone happy. You don't want there to be any sort of confrontation. And what you do is you allow people to take pieces of you and you're not even realizing it. And also, what needs to be talking about people who have people pleasing tendencies is that there's a little bit of manipulation going on there. And of course, you're not trying to be manipulative, right? But when you try to avoid conflict and you just go along with everyone else's saying, even if that's not true to you, you are being manipulative because you just want that person to like you without being real, without being authentic, without actually telling them your needs and desires, right? So we want to work on showing up for ourselves, building that confidence, learning who we are, standing up for ourselves, right? It's okay if there's a little bit of confrontation every now and then, if there's a little bit of push and pull, if someone is challenging you, right? But if you know who you are deep down, they can't challenge you like so far outside of yourself. Of course, we want to take in, other people's perspectives, especially if we can grow. But at the end of the day, you have to stay true to yourself and stay true to your heart. So keep showing up for yourself, keep crushing your goals. Again, go with that momentum. If you're starting to see results in something, like that's going to feel so good. You're going to feel the sense of pride. You're going to want to keep going. You're going to want to keep pushing, even though you know that it's hard, but you know that it's harder when you don't feed into yourself, when you're not true to yourself, when you're just letting life kind of happen to you letting life kind of just pass you by. You're going along with what everyone says. So we do want to look deep. We do want to put in the work day in and day out, build that trust with ourselves, build that self-confidence is so important, and it's super rewarding. I hope everyone is feeling blessed today, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks for tuning in.